Good morning, everyone. This is Brett Lewis from L4 Group, and I have with me Stephen Ohl from RFO. How are you, Steve?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Today we're going to be talking about heating systems, and we've gotten a couple questions in over the last several weeks. But one popped out, and it was, can you tell me what the difference is between a heat pump and a geothermal heating system? So I figured it'd be a great opportunity to have Stephen talk about this because he is a heating expert. Steve, why don't you first off give everybody a little bit of background about what RFO does and a little background about your involvement with heating systems.
Sure. We're in our 31st year this year. We've been in business, and we're a heating oil and propane delivery company. We also deliver on-road diesel and off-road diesel and kerosene. We have a full-service HVAC department, so we can do installations and repairs on almost any heating system out there, whether it be natural gas, propane, electric, heating oil. We even do wood pellets. So we also have a hearth and patio showroom where we have retractable awnings, we have fireplaces and space heaters, we have patio furniture and barbecue grills, spices and salsas. You can come in and touch and feel the products before you buy them. We even have all different kinds of heating systems on display if you want to see what you're purchasing. And we cover about 7 counties, so we're, uh, we're mainly tied. Everything we do is around energy.
That's awesome, awesome. So you guys are a full-service energy company, and you're not like a one-man van type operation. You are a well-established company.
Yeah, we have over 37 employees. We have 2 locations, and we're like I said earlier, we cover about a 50-mile radius of Lehighton and touch on 7 counties.
That's great. That's great. So let's jump into the first question here, which is, can you tell us the differences between what a geothermal heating system is versus a heat pump system?
Sure. You'll hear 2 terms kind of used for heat pumps. There's ground source and air source. The traditional referral to a heat pump is usually the air source system, and the way that works is it's taking the air from outside the home and bringing it in through a refrigerant of some kind or a heating transfer liquid, which is typically free, some type of a freon, and that's bringing it into the home, and then it transfers the heat from the outside air into the home um, through evaporators and can condensate coils, and then in the winter time or in the summertime, it basically does the reverse of that. It just reverses, and you can use it for cooling also. So it's taking the warm air out of the house, transferring it to outside the home. That's a basic, simple synopsis. It's kind of like a radiator on your car. Everybody knows what the radiator in the car looks like. If they pop the hood, they can see that radiator in there, and that's just using an antifreeze and transferring the heat away from the engine, and then a fan blows over it and cools it. So basically, same concept.
Okay.
Now, in a ground source or a geothermal system, there's a couple different ways that you can do it, but the most popular one is usually using a series of wells, and they're drilled, down usually a couple hundred feet, and it uses water as the refrigerant and the transfer liquid, and it pumps the water into the home from the ground. In the wintertime, it's using an average temperature, say, of like 50 degrees and bringing that into the home, warming the air up inside the home. And then in the summertime, it's reversed so that it's using the cool air from the ground and transferring that inside the home. And there's a couple different ways, like I mentioned, they can do a geothermal system. You can do it through like the wells. You can do shallow loops if you have enough room or enough property. You can do shallow loop systems. And if you have a pond on your property that's large enough, you can even do water lines in the pond to use as your transfer.
Okay, so if I understand that correctly, then the idea with this is you're utilizing the ground temperatures, so that way it's a smaller incremental increase to get to a comfortable temperature inside the house. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly what it does. The ground is pretty consistent temperature at a certain depth all year round. Because in the wintertime around here, it doesn't usually freeze below 3 feet. So if as long as you're down below that, the ground temperature remains pretty consistent. If you've ever been inside of a cave, you go in a cave in the winter, it's 50 some degrees. You go in a cave in the summer, it's 50 some degrees. So same principle.
Sure, sure. Okay. So now I know with heat pumps, they operate great in certain temperature ranges, but then when it gets cold, like below freezing, I guess, there's some issues. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean in the Northeast where we're located, a standard heat pump system will typically operate to down around 32 degrees, and then they have what they call resistance heaters, which kick in, which are not as efficient as the normal heat pump, and they're going to cost you a little bit more to run than the heat pump would.
Okay. And now the other question I had was with split unit systems. Are they those are the units that we've talked about in the past, where you have a specific room that you want to heat or cool, and you have the head mounted in the room, and then the outdoor unit. Are they considered to be heat pumps?
Yeah, they're same principle, same thing. It's just that you're not using ductwork to transfer the. Typically, it's air involved. You're warming the air or cooling the air with some type of a ductwork system and a feed and a return for the air to circulate. With the mini split systems, it's usually a head unit on a wall, and the coil is outside. So there's very minimal construction. You don't need ductwork, and you can put multiple head units throughout the home. A lot of times you can do, based off of one outdoor unit, but sometimes you may need two or three depending on the size of the home. And you'll with a heat pump system, you'll typically want some type of a fossil fuel backup in the wintertime in the Northeast. And that could be propane, natural gas, heating oil, and they're relatively inexpensive when you're installing your system to add that. If you have a mini split system, you may already have some type of another heat source in your home. Typically, that's what we find if we're installing a mini split system. A lot of customers get them for air conditioning purposes, but then they start realizing that they can use it for the heat also, and they'll use it in the fall and springtime for a heating source too.
Sure, sure. And actually, I was at a location a couple days ago, and I noticed they had a split unit system installed, and it was on, and I couldn't even hear it. I mean, those things are so quiet. Is that normal?
Yeah, they're very quiet. I mean, actually, one of the things that we tell customers that come in with the window units is that's their first question: is it going to be as noisy as a window unit?
Right.
No, I mean, I remember the days of the window units in my house, and you couldn't even listen to the television, with those old air conditioning units. So I couldn't wait till we had upgraded when we went to the mini split system. It was a great transformation.
Yeah, yeah. It's I see them in restaurants and stuff, but the restaurants are noisy. You don't really see, get a feel for that. But I was in this room, and I was me and this other person were the only two in the room, and I was like, holy cow, it's on, it's blowing hot air. I don't even hear it.
Yeah, I got mine on in my office right now, and you don't hear anything. So it's you can actually the outdoor units are super quiet also. You go out and stand next to the outdoor unit, you won't hardly hear it run.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, alrighty. Well, that was the main question, was the differences between the geothermal systems and the heat pumps. Can you just to wrap up? Can you give our viewers a little more information about RFO? You know, and also where you're located. You know, best ways to contact you and all of that.
Sure. The best way to contact us, well, actually, there's a couple different ways, but you go on our website, www.rfohl.com. On there, you'll find links for Facebook and Twitter. You're more than welcome to use those to communicate with us. We also have email. You could use the email address info@rfohl.com. You can email us questions. You can call us 610-377-1098. You can stop by and drop in and say hi if you want and see our showroom. We have 2 locations for the showroom. The first one is in Lehighton at 400 Interchange Road, Lehighton PA. 18235 is the zip, and we're located right next to Wentz's Auto Body. The other location is Effort, PA on Route 115, and we're right, if you're familiar with that, we're right up from the Effort. They always refer to it as the Effort stoplight because Effort isn't that big, but it's right there along Route 115. We're Fisher's Heating and Cooling. They have joined our family now, so right now we're in the process of actually we're repainting up there today and getting everything ready. So we're hoping to have everything newly remodeled. If you stop by, should be done soon.
That's awesome.
We cover about a 50-mile radius of Lehighton, over 82 zip codes. Like I mentioned earlier, parts of 7 counties. We cover most of, we'll cover all of Carbon County, Lehigh County, Northampton County, Schuylkill County, Monroe County, parts of Berks County, and parts of Luzerne County. And if you're, on a fringe area and you're not sure if we service you or not, just call us and we'll gladly help you if we can. If not, we'll try and refer you to somebody that we know in the industry can help you out.
That's great. That's great. And just to reiterate, the link to the website, the phone number, your address, and all that is in the description below this video. So if you didn't catch that, you can just look in the description. So, Steve, I want to say thanks for taking time out of your day to talk about heating systems with us, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Great. Thanks, Brett.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.